Okay, let's all say it together, guys, on the count of three. One, two, three. Taco! The Trump always chickens out trade, baby. It is on in full effect, right? And the market, I'm sure you guys saw by now, ripped today as President Donald Trump essentially, pulled back the tariffs on these 8 European countries. He said there's like an outline of a deal or something with Greenland. I forget the exact way he said it, but really, guys, the gist of it is, there's a framework, I think he said, of a deal here with Greenland, and the fact that he pulled those tariffs on the 8 countries in Europe, which you obviously all know about, that's causing the market to rip. And we can see here, this is actually Intel stock, which has been on an absolute rampage on a side note here, guys. But we can see the S&P today closed up over 1.1%. QQQ, I think the same. Yeah, 1.2, 1.3%. The Dow went up 1.2, and the Russell went up 2%. And look at this move off the lows, guys. We hit 675 this morning on SPY, and we closed at 685. We actually hit 690 pretty much at the high of the day. So this went up pretty much 2% from top to bottom. We're starting to see a reversal, dare I say. And if we look here on the 4-hour chart on SPY, we can notice here that clearly we're getting buying pressure at the bottom of this channel, which, not to toot my own horn, we actually talked about that. We called it out. And on QQQ, it's the same thing. You're seeing we're bouncing off the bottom of the wedge. We're wrestling with these moving averages now on the 4-hour chart, which if we break those, I think we're going higher. And ultimately, I think if we take 620, 625 out, which we're not there yet, but if we do, QQQ is going to absolutely rip. So, yeah, the taco trade is in full effect, guys, right during earnings season. Talk about timing. You couldn't come, with better timing here, Mr. President Donald Trump. I love it. So, yeah, stocks are rebounding. Very nice green day. And for me, guys, and by the way, we're going to break down a couple stocks here, 5 in particular that reported earnings. We're going to do some rapid fire on those, J&J, Halliburton, Charles Schwab, a couple other ones. And I also want to go over, we might as well do it now, what I did in the market today. So right before we got this massive rebound, right before essentially we got the news that we're seeing these the tariffs be removed, I sold out of Circle Internet Group. I actually cut the loss on this. I don't like the way the trend's looking. It's going against me, right? I'm not loving that. We can see here, and this is not a stock that I'm comfortable at this point holding in a downtrend. It's kind of different if we're looking at Netflix or some other companies. I think Circle Internet Group, I love the company, no doubt, but the stock, if it takes out the lows from November, it might get a lot uglier. We'll leave it at that. But I cut my loss here. I lost about 5% on Circle Internet Group. I'm not loving the fact that it's taken out the lows from a couple weeks ago, from December in particular. We held $73, $74, and we cut through that low like butter today, guys. And now we're approaching the lows from the end of November, being about 65, 68 a share. And I don't necessarily want to hold into the high 60s. And if it takes that low out, I'm not comfortable right now holding this into the low 60s. So yeah, at this point, man, cut the loss there. And like I mentioned in the beginning of my this week, when we got news regarding tariffs, the market was tanking, I told you guys, look, I want to focus on the core holdings of my portfolio. So I took that money. Again, I lost 5% on Circle Internet Group, and I just bought more stocks that I love on the dip that are in my core holdings. Number 1, Amazon, AMZN. I bought more at $228 roughly. And again, this is before we got the taco trade that played out, right? So I bought, I guess, at a good time today. We got a little lucky there. So I bought at $228, added more Amazon literally right before this massive run, and it closed at $231.31. So I think Amazon, it's too beaten up in the short term. We started off the year really hot. We got the 250, and now we're down 8-9% from that point. For what? And the chart looks great still. So for me, easy buy the dip here. I did exactly that. And I also added more NVIDIA, right? I bought more NVIDIA at $180 a share, just over 180. And this inverse head and shoulders, I think's about to play out. We held 178, 180 today. We closed at 183. And I mentioned how I want NVIDIA to be no more than 15%, 15% of my portfolio. It was 12-ish percent heading into, today. And I added more, and now it's close to 14. So we're almost at that 15% weighting that I wanted at. And that's exactly where I want it before. In my opinion, we're going well over $200 a share. I think we're going at 250, guys, if I'm being quite honest, in the next 12 to 18 months. That's conservative too, I would say. So NVIDIA gearing up, I think, for a breakout here. I'm adding more. I added more, which I haven't added more NVIDIA since I would say this period here in December in the low 170s. I also added in November, so it's been about a month, and I'm taking advantage of this dip. Thanks to the taco trade, and things aren't 100% just going to rebound tomorrow. Back to all-time highs. That's not necessarily what's going to happen, but I like NVIDIA at 180 regardless of the taco trade or the market rebounding aggressively tomorrow or the coming days. I would buy NVIDIA regardless. I think it's a good value here at 180, and it's been consolidating for 5-6 months. You guys know what comes after that. I think we're going to break out, like I've said many times. So let's dive into these earnings quickly, rapid fire style. That's pretty much all I did today, guys. Added more NVIDIA, added more Amazon, 2 of my core holdings, and I sold out of Circle Internet Group. And it really wasn't a big position for me by any means. It was a small starter position, and it's starting to downtrend again. And quite frankly, it's been downtrending, and I don't necessarily want to, add to it in the 60s at this point. I'm kind of trimming the fat in my portfolio as well, and again, focusing on the core holdings. So, Johnson & Johnson, let's run through these. J&J, which you all know has been on an unbelievable tear. They reported earnings this morning, and J&J did earnings per share. Let's see here, guys. I actually haven't even looked at this myself. Probably should have this morning. But I don't own this stock, so I don't really care too much about it. But where the heck is it here, guys? Am I blind? Adjusted EPS came in at $2.46 with revenue, it looks like, at $24.56 billion. And they're guiding for operational sales of $99.5 to $100.5 billion for 2026. I like that guidance. Pretty good there. $100 to $101 billion. They expect heavy investment in Q1, so front-loaded investment versus the end of the year. So J&J, I mean, look, don't fight the trend. Simple as that. The bulls are in charge. They have been for months. The stock pulled back a little bit after earnings, it looks like. But look at that V-shaped recovery. That should tell you something. We hit 209. We hit 209 this morning, and we closed at 218. Very nice recovery in Johnson & Johnson, and I'd be watching it now to take out that 220 high, maybe go even higher. But remember, this is Johnson & Johnson, guys. It's not a tech stock. It's not an AI stock. So don't expect it to take 220 out and then just rip the 250. I doubt that's going to happen. But could it go to, let's say, 225, see another pullback, consolidate for a month? Yeah, that's more the price action that I am expecting. So that's J&J. We also had Halliburton today. And by the way, hit the like button, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Follow along for more if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you all for doing that. So Halliburton, you all know that these defense stocks have been on a tear this year after President Donald Trump pretty much said he's going to double the defense budget. Is it next year or this year? Whatever it was, right? All these headlines, you forget sometimes. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, defense budget is going up, right? And Halliburton popped like crazy, and now it's up another 4% as of today, and it looks like it wants to go higher. I mean, look at this. Insane. This is a bull flag playing out right before our eyes, and we're taking out the the highs here from the last couple of days. So I like it. Halliburton reported, let's see, earnings per share. Let's pull this up, guys. Earnings per share, where the heck is it? Adjusted of 69 cents on revenue of $5.66 billion. Not bad. Let's see, anything on guidance or anything on... Yeah, looks like FactSet was estimating $5.41 billion, so they beat that nicely. Looks like they beat adjusted EPS by 14 cents as well. So very nice. Capital One adjusted their price target to $35 from $25, maintaining an overweight rating. Looks like here Stifel Nicholas adjust their target as well. They have a buy rating on them. So I like this. The momentum that's building up. We're taking out this we're seeing this bull flag or wedge, whatever you want to call it, play out. Keep an eye on it, man. Momentum to the mid-high 30s. That's what we're what we could be in store for. So Charles Schwab, let's pull it up. SCHW. Charles Schwab went up 0.75% today. Not too much there. Looks like inline EPS. They came in at adjusted EPS of $1.39. Sales missed though, 6.33 versus 6.36 billion. So not the best headline numbers out of Charles Schwab. Anything on guidance though? Looks like we do have total client assets of almost $12 trillion. Think about that. Insanity. Let's see. Trading volumes jumped 31%. We're seeing that in a lot of these companies, right? These financials. So that's pretty much it. Nothing much on guidance, but they did have, again, inline EPS, slight miss on revenue. And the stocks chart, it's looking a little wonky. We have a little bearish divergence. I'm not loving that, but we are trading above these moving averages as of now. So don't necessarily fight the trend, right? That's the way I'm thinking about this one. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not really looking to buy it at these elevated prices personally, but it is consolidating over the highs here from July, August, September, right about at about $100 a share. And we are seeing some consolidation. Maybe we bounce. Maybe we don't. Let's see. That's Charles Schwab. And looks like here we also had IBKR. I think this was yesterday. Interactive Brokers went up 6% yesterday or today after earnings yesterday. So they ended up doing, let's see here, guys. They reported earnings per share adjusted of 65 cents. That beat the 60 or 59 cents expected on sales of 1.64 billion versus 1.6 billion. So double beat out of IBKR. And let's see, they have a buy rating from Goldman Sachs, $89 target. They increased the target. Barclays also did that as well from 82 to 83 a share, maintaining overweight rating. So IBKR, man, cup and handle is completely playing out. And we actually talked about this on Sunday, I believe, in that earnings video that we did where we kind of highlighted the companies to watch. We talked about IBKR, the cup and handle, and it's playing out. It's playing out beautifully here, and I think, honestly, man, this could be going $80, could be going higher. So IBKR, keep your eyes on it. Momentum is going crazy. And United Airlines, UAL is the ticker. This one's looking a little head and shouldery. You guys see what I'm saying? You're noticing it here on the 20-day chart, or maybe on the year-to-date if I zoom in a little bit. Either way, looking a little bit like a head and shoulders. Earnings came in, I think, yesterday. UAL reported, let's see here, earnings per share adjusted of $3.10 versus $2.94. Sales came in at 15.39 versus 15.39, so pretty much right in line there. So you guys know me, man. I'm not the biggest fan of the airlines, but their guidance is pretty vague. Looks like here adjusted EPS guidance for the full year, $12 to $14 versus $13.13 expected. So not too bad there, but yeah, pretty broad range. Not vague, I guess broad range. Either way, man, UAL, keep your eyes on it. We're slightly seeing a head and shoulders. We're slightly under these moving averages, so keep that in mind. But overall, forget about UAL. Who cares about the airlines? We got to focus on the taco trade. It's here. It's here, and I think momentum could continue to pick up over the coming days, especially if these earnings out of big tech and these companies continue to come in strong. Well, I guess we didn't have big tech yet, But if their numbers are good, yeah, I think the market is going to be saved. So what do you think? What do you think? I had to take a deep breath, man. A lot of talking this video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And by the way, shout out to everybody that's been joining the Patreon. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you're finding value there, right? We're posting my portfolio updates twice a week on Patreon, and whenever I'm rebalancing or buying stocks, I actually rebalanced today like we covered, right? All of that is posted on Patreon in real time. And there's also a private Discord. We're talking throughout the day, posting the updates there, posting my charts and ideas. Check it out. It's linked down below, also pinned in the comments, or go to staserfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.